Alright, hello folks, and welcome to this first video of this channel. We're gonna get started. This is gonna be an informational video, alright? I'm getting started, you are probably getting started, and together we are getting started. So today I'm gonna be explaining to you in the best way I can, with the best information I can. Obviously, I am not an expert yet, I'm not a financial advisor, you should trust yourself only. But I will try my best and try to bring you the information that will help you best, that you can determine off by yourself and whatnot. So let's get started. Let's get straight into this. We're going to start, obviously, with the central topic of today's video, which should be its title, if I remember correctly. What is crypto? That is how we're going to start the channel. We're going to start with a bunch of what are's. What is this? What is that? I'm going to be explaining it, and then we can get into more recent day news, but we're gonna start small. We're gonna start small, folks. We start small. We're at the base of the mountain. There's a lot to do. The mountain is wide at its base. We are not at the tip where things are new and there's a precipice. And stuff is short. One day news. Nope. We gotta start small. We gotta start fresh, and that's where we're gonna start with today. What is crypto? Now, from the information that I've gathered. In the financial world, this is written down, okay? This is not from memory, because I'm not proficient enough to be at memory. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so we're going to get started with this. I'm going to give you the information, you do what you want with it, and without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the financial world, crypto, usually short for cryptocurrency, refers to a type of digital or virtual money that uses cryptography for security and operates independently for traditional banks or governments or just people in general. So basically, it is currently. It's the digital version of currencies, the more advanced digital currencies for more practical uses around the world of obviously stuff. Now, right now, I can only say stuff because I'm not proficient in my knowledge. I do not know a lot currently, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there together. We're gonna get there. If you're fresh like me, we're gonna get there. If you're not fresh, this is probably stuff you already know. It's basically just a refresh or warm up. So essentially, it's a decentralized digital asset that allows people to send, receive, and store value over the internet without needing a middleman like a bank. And of course, obviously, depending on how you invest, that money can grow rather than just like sending, storing, or receiving. It can grow into even more than you put in. I think it could go less too. Yeah, just like sort of like stocks, depending on what you go in. But yeah, it depends honestly on how you use it and what you use, of course, because there's multiple different cryptos to get into, to start with, to use, etc., etc. So anyways, the core idea being that a cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital asset that allows people to send, receive, and store value over the internet without using it. Now, key features of crypto and stuff is, we can start with the first key feature is something called the blockchain technology. Now, most cryptocurrencies, not all, but most, run on a system called the blockchain. It's a public digital ledger that records all transactions securely and transparently. At least it's supposed to. It has, as of now. So anyways, the blockchain is a distributed, as I said, ledger technology that records data in a sequential, cryptographically linked blocks across a peer-to-peer network. So basically, it enables participants to share and verify information transparently without a central authority. So essentially, if I want to send you this, you can get it, and you know that you got it. You know that I'm sending to you, and you can do the same. And it's not like we need someone to mediate what we're doing. We don't need, whatever the guy with the black mask, Squid Game dude in the suit and stuff, arbitrating what we're doing while we do it. We just do it. It's like if I have $10 and you want to borrow $10 from me. I'm sending you the $10. I'm right here in front of you. I have the $10 in my hand. I hand it to you. This is what it is essentially, but digital. It's like much more effective, if you know what I'm saying. So anyways, it enables participants to share and verify information transparently without a central authority. And the system underpins cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and supports diverse applications in finance, logistics, and data management in general. So blockchain isn't crypto itself, but as said, it's a technology, the system that most cryptocurrencies run on to make things possible, like transferring quickly. It's like I said, it's like handing the money here. Maybe you're not handing the money to a friend. Maybe you're at a store handing the money there. That's sort of like the concept, the analogy for how the blockchain works. Now, it was this doesn't really matter, but this is just extra facts. Its first implementation was 2009. Its core feature is being immutable. It's a timestamped ledger shared across different nodes. Nodes are basically like standpoints, like points in a place. Like, let's say you have a street, right? You have a street going through a town. A node would be a shop. It's a planting point, a point where things can stop, where information or things are stored, sort of like a bottle of ketchup, some chips, etc., etc. I believe I'm correct. If I'm not, you can fact check this yourself, but I believe that is what that is. I'm almost certain in my knowledge. Now, I'm not proficient. I'm not a financial advisor, as I said, so I could be wrong on these things. You shouldn't take my word for 100%, but I am 99% sure I am correct. I'm 1% certain, and I believe I am not misleading you. But remember, you got to trust yourself. So anyways, consensus methods, proof of work, and blah, blah, blah. So the mechanism and structure of blockchain, each block contains a transaction data, a timestamp, and a cryptographic hash of the previous block. I can explain that another time. But anyways, it basically forms an immutable chain. The transactions are validated through consensus protocols, which ensure all nodes agree on the current state of the ledger. So I'm not the only one who knows I paid for, like, let's say I bought an apple. I know I paid $5 for the apple. The store owner knows I paid $5 for the apple. The register, which now has the $5, knows I have $5. So everything is confirmed. It's not like someone just says it happened and it happened or it didn't happen. There's multiple sources that are verifying that. So anyways, this is validated through consensus protocols, ensuring all nodes agree on the current state of the ledger, and the decentralized process removed intermediaries, providing trust without trust. So I can trust that this happened without, like, a bank telling me. I can trust that I have $5 in the safe without a bank telling me there's $5 in the safe, because I put the $5 in the safe. The bank does not need to tell me. I just trust that it's there because I know I put it there. You get what I'm saying? It's there. And yet it also introduces issues of some issues of contextual costs and governance. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you go in it. It depends on what you're doing with it, how you use it. You use it right, I mean, you use it wrong. I mean, what can we do? Now, the applications and significance in the blockchain has evolved beyond digital currencies to include smart contracts. So, like, self-executing programs enforcing agreements automatically. So it's almost analogous to, like, an ATM. You put the money in, it automatically puts it into your account, right? So, like, that's essentially what it is. Rather than me handing the money to someone and then them putting into my account, there's a difference. One does it automatically, one, I see the person doing it, they're doing it manually, etc., etc. And, the agreements automatically in systems, and decentralized finance. So, different projects, such as, and you probably, if you've been in a long time, you probably know about this. If you haven't, this is probably new to you. But projects such as Ethereum and Hyperledger and enterprise distributed ledgers demonstrate the adaptability of the blockchain technology across sectors, from healthcare to renewable energy and education. They basically they utilize this technology since believe I mentioned since 2009 it's been in there. They've utilized this technology, showed its efficiency, showed how they've used it in different parts. Not exactly showed, that's not exactly the best word, but through their actions in trusting the source, in using it themselves, they're showing its trustability, its fluency. What is the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word. It's the word when something is it's trustable. I know it works. It's good at what it does. Proficiency. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe not. But perhaps that is what I mean. But you get what I mean. I know you get what I mean because I get what I mean. If I get what I mean, come on. Oh, okay. So a bit of critique and research on the blockchain technology. I'm honestly not going to go into it. I'm not here to give you an opinion or stuff like that. Just a few facts. I'm not proficient enough to give an opinion, so I'm going to stick from doing that too much. I'm going to try and stick from that whenever I give my analogies. I'm going to try and give you an analogy as unbiased and straightforward as I possibly can. I'm not going to try and rant or rave about anything because I am not proficient in the knowledge. So as best I can, I'm trying to give you facts. Remember, trust yourself. I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that a lot because I'm just starting out. Gotta say it every video, I'm pretty sure. I'll figure it out. But just so people aren't blindly following what I'm saying, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So anyways, another key feature of crypto is the decentralization. So unlike traditional currency like the US dollar or like the Chinese yuan, it's not controlled by a central authority like a government or central bank. It's worldwide. Basically, your money's your money, and whatever you do with it inside crypto is what you do with it, essentially. Now, a third key feature is cryptography. Cryptography, however you say that. Cryptography. It's the transactions that are secured using advanced math and encryptions, which make them hard to hack or counterfeit. So basically, encrypted. They're encrypted. Crypto is encrypted with encryptions that make it safe so that your stuff is not lost. That when you see that thing that says you just got plus $5, you actually have the plus $5. When you send it to a friend, you send it to your mother, you send it to your boy who needs $5 to buy some, juice because he was thirsty. So it's basically your stuff is safe, right? It's like a firewall. It's the more advanced firewall. It's like an actual like a firewall someone could jump through. Right? Someone could jump through a firewall and get past. A real wall, they're going to have to... It's much harder to get through. And they're most likely not going to get through, especially if it's concrete. This is like a titanium wall. No one's getting through that wall. Unless they're like the most top tier, like ballistic missile using person. They're not getting through the titanium wall, if you get that. That's encryption. And then also, the cryptocurrencies are in limited supply. Most times, not always, but most times they're in limited supply. So it affects their value over time. One crypto, as you should know, if there's less of it, it's gonna be very, very valuable. Or depending on like what it's used for. Sort of like how if you like the difference between gold and the dollar. There's a lot of the dollar, so the dollar is always a dollar. But gold, sometimes there's a good amount of it, but most times it's rare. It's not found everywhere, so the value will go up compared to the dollar, of course. So, anyways. Popular examples of crypto is Bitcoin. You should know about it. If you're going to crypto, you have to know about Bitcoin. It's the most famous. I'm pretty sure the most not expensive. It's the most valuable one right now on the market. I'm pretty sure. Everyone knows about it. That's all you need to know. Everyone knows about it. It's big right now. As far as my knowledge, like for a video like this explaining what crypto is, that's all you need to know. Bitcoin is an example. You probably heard of it. It's an example of crypto. Another one that's also a big one, another big one, but it's lesser known against it's lesser known amongst common spawn. I hate to use this derogatory term, but like the hoi polloi, the masses. Most people don't know about Ethereum. Unlike Bitcoin, like everyone knows about Bitcoin. I know about Bitcoin. The guy who works at the corner store knows about Bitcoin. I'm sure your grandparents probably know about Bitcoin too. But Ethereum is more popular amongst people who actually are in the financial industry. If you know finances, you probably know Ethereum. If you don't know finances, you probably don't. But it's a popular example of Bitcoins. And another one that is has been coming up for the past few years, more recent than Ethereum and Bitcoin, I believe, Solana, especially since it's known for its fast transaction speeds and whatnot. Now, how is crypto used in finance? A lot of people invest and like to speculate about crypto. So basically, you buy it hoping it's sort of like stocks. You buy it hoping its value increases so you can make money. Maybe make some quick money, maybe make some long-term money, etc., etc. Payments, some business accept it as payments. Nowadays, different companies and different maybe websites or apps are using it. They'll give you hoping you'll use it, etc., etc. It's used as a DFI. Decentralized finance, basically services like lending or trading without banks. Basically, a huge important factor about crypto is that it's not limited in the sense that if I want my money, I can take it now. I don't have to go through a bank. I don't have to run any files. No, if I want my $50 in, like, I know this is completely unrealistic, but for an logical analogy. How do you say analogous? But like, you know what I'm saying. But for the purpose of using it as an analogy, right? Let's say Bitcoin was like $50. Let's say you have $50 in Bitcoin. If you want that $50 now, crypto lets you take it. You can take it now. You don't need to go through a bank. You don't need to go through a person. Nobody needs to hand it to you. You take it now because you already had it. It's there. It's confirmed by the blockchain technology is most likely using. And yeah. And that goes to the next part, how it's used in finance. It's a store of value, usually seen as like digital gold. You know what I mean? You put money into it, and that value is like, for example, if you buy $50 worth of gold, gold's probably going to be like this size, right? The size is small compared to like dollar bill, but it's not. The dollar bill isn't worth more. The gold holds the value. The dollar is worth $1. The gold is worth a bunch of those dollars stacked together. It's sort of like a sandwich. You have the word sandwich. Sandwich is gold. What's in the sandwich, the lettuce, tomatoes, the burger, the meat, the lettuce, whatever, is like the dollars. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it's seen. It's a store of value. It stores your value. You could have one Bitcoin, and as people know today, one Bitcoin is worth probably like $60,000. It was at some point. I think it went up recently. Not sure, but at some point, I remember in the past, it was at like $63,585 or something, right? One Bitcoin. So the one Bitcoin holds all that value. It stored all that value, and if someone sold it, they would always get that. Now, some common risks to know about crypto. Obviously, prices can change rapidly. Crypto could go down quickly. It could take a long time to go up, etc. It's sort of like stocks, but it's much more different than stocks. Stocks, like, they have some similar characteristics to crypto. Crypto has some similar characteristics to stocks, but it is much more different. There's like a big difference. We can get into that another time, but they do share some characteristics. Now, regulation uncertainty. Laws vary and are evolving around crypto, what you can use it for, what you can't. Some people are against it, some people are not, some people allow it, some people don't. I mean, like, the things you can use it, like, whether it's taxed or not, that's a big thing. Whether it should be taxed, whether it shouldn't be taxed. I don't know if that's been resolved or not. I believe that was, like, a big thing at some point. I think it's still, unless it's been resolved, like, there's been some resolution to it. That's a big thing. And then security risk. People can get hacked. You can get scammed. Lost passwords can mean lost funds. I mean, there was this big thing I remember that was talked about, how a guy, he had it on a drive, a bunch of Bitcoins, and he threw out the drive or something like that. And he lost it. Then it went big. Now he wanted it back to get it out of the dump. And like, they wouldn't let him and stuff like that. So anyways, you lose the thing to it but that's the thing. It's like the risk. It's like, there's this old concept, new concept. It's a very common concept. Risk and reward. What's the risk? What's the reward? The risk, you can lose everything in several different ways. If you're not smart with it, if you don't think about it, you can lose it. The reward, it's your money, you could earn from it, you don't have to go through a middleman, etc. So, like, there's risk, but, like, you know, the rewards balance it, and a lot of times the rewards are bigger than it. The rewards can be bigger than the risk, you know what I'm saying? But it's never really a point, I don't believe. It depends on what you do, of course, depends on what you do. Don't take my word for it, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but in most scenarios, the risk will never essentially go over the reward. Most times. I personally believe that. I wouldn't take my word for it. I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't go blindly into something thinking that, there's the risk can never go over the risk can never go over the reward. So, like, if I go into this and I couldn't lose nothing, I'll just go put 1 million on red. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Now, I have to be careful with my words. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not an advisor. I can't say that you shouldn't do that. I can't say that you should do that. I can't say I wouldn't recommend this. I can't say I would recommend this. Like I said, the only thing I can recommend is that you trust yourself and that you be careful with what you do. So I personally would would do this, would do that, but I'm never gonna tell you that you should do this, you should do that. And if I did or anyone did, you really shouldn't, unless they're a financial advisor. I'm not that, so don't take my word for it. So, anyways, the simplest analogy for crypto, not the simplest, but a very simple one is crypto is basically the digital cash stored on a global shared spreadsheet, essentially, that anyone can verify thanks to blockchain, and no single person controls. You could see the spreadsheet, you can see what it is, know what it is, and anyone else can see what it is, know what it is, but no one can control it. And yeah, that essentially wraps up what crypto is. So let me check out my notes. Let's see. To see, like, I don't believe there's anything I missed in this. I believe this was a very simplified explanation. I don't believe it was too advanced. Like, I felt like I personally understood everything I said. Like, I understood it before I talked about it. In the sense, like, what I wrote down, I got an understanding of it. I think it was simple, good enough. Or not good enough. It was, like, simple enough that I think most people will understand it. I don't believe anyone didn't understand if you watch this, because this is a small channel. This is the first video of the channel. So, there's probably only one person who watched it. If you made it this far, I think you understood it. I'm pretty sure. There's no way I get someone who didn't understand it. If I get anybody, I don't think I will. This is just a starter. But we stay hopeful. We gotta stay optimistic. That's the biggest thing. You always want to stay optimistic. You want to stay optimistic. So, anyways, let's see. Is there anything else that I am missing in these notes that would be quite important to know? I don't believe so. Believe that should what do you call it? Cover it. But what do you call him? I think it's not working. Mouse is going wonkers. No, I really like I really like going to the store and buying myself a jar of peanut butter. You know what's really, really good? A jar of peanut butter. No, seriously. Peanut butter is great. You put it on your pasta. You put it on your bananas. you put it on your sandwiches. You just take a cookie and you put some peanut butter on it. It's great. Great, Alright, not working. This isn't working. My screen is frozen. Yeah, it's frozen. Hold on, folks. My screen is frozen. Alright, there we go. That should have fixed it. Think it is. Got my little notes. So, anyways, there's not too much more for me to explain. There's definitely quite more to crypto beyond the basics. Like once you move past the digital money, it comes into a whole ecosystem of financial tools and technologies. And there's a bunch of important pieces that people don't often realize when they get into it. I won't get into too much, but I'll get into a few things, and then we're gonna end off this video. So there's stuff called smart contracts you might know about. So platforms like Ethereum introduced smart contracts, which are self-executing programs on the blockchain. They automatically run on when conditions are met. There's no middleman needed, and they're used for things like loans, insurance, and digital agreements. I'm not too familiar with them. You'd probably have to research them more yourself. I'm just introducing the topic so that if you're interested, you can look it up. Maybe I'll make a video on it later on. Maybe I won't. I mean, there's a lot to do. There's a lot that could be done. But I'm just going to give it a... Now, I'm assuming... I'm not confident, but I'm assuming that it's like, let's say you want to sell at a certain point. Like, if you reach a certain point, like something sells automatically. That's probably what smart contracts could do. And it's used for things like loans, insurance, digital agreements. I think that basically sums it up. I don't think it's more. So, decentralized finance, I mentioned this pretty quickly earlier. This is another swift mention. It's an alternative financial system built on crypto. You can use it for borrowing and lending without banks, earn interest on crypto, trade assets instantly, and it's all powered usually by smart contracts instead of institutions. NFTs, those are non-fungible tokens. I think you should be familiar with those. I think they're fairly popular, fairly thought of. I haven't heard about them in a while, but fairly good. They're unique digital assets stored on blockchains, often linked to art, music, collectibles, and they're like one of kinds on like coins like Bitcoin, and typically used in like gaming and digital ownership. They're like cool things, but you can put money into them, or you could sell them for money. Stablecoins. These are cryptocurrencies designed to stay stable in value, usually tied to real currency like the US dollar, for example, the USD coin, often for trading and storing value without volatility. Now, this is something, shifty. That's a shifty topic. That's a shifty topic, and I think you probably heard other people speak on it, probably dabbled in the information. That's a shifty thing that you should be careful of, that I will get into one day. We're starting small, but one day I will get into that. So anyways, mining and validation. Crypto networks need to verify transactions, so they use mining, used by Bitcoin, involves solving complex math problems. Other systems use staking, which is locking up crypto to help run the network. So that's mining validation. There's regulation and taxes, a big and evolving area. Governments are still trying it. Yeah, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. They're still trying to figure out how to regulate crypto, because the point of crypto is that the government can't regulate it. That's the whole point. They cannot regulate it. And people, we do not want that. We want our money. We want our control. That's the ideology of crypto. So governments they don't know what to do with this. How they should respond to this. Something they can't control. What do they do with it? Do they try to seize it? What is the backlash? What is the response to that? Do they leave it alone? Okay, but this is untapped money. This is generating millions upon millions, maybe even billions, possibly trillions of dollars that are coming in, and we're not taxing that? I mean, we could use that money. I mean, we got a national debt in the trillions that's just laughing in our faces every year as it grows. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, the U.S. crypto is generally treated as property for tax purposes, right? And then you may or may not owe taxes on profits when you sell or trade crypto. There's wallets and private keys. Typically, to use crypto, you need a wallet. You store your private key. It's typically like a password to your money. If you lose your keys, your crypto is typically gone forever. It's that safe. Once again, risk. This is risk, reward. Risk, reward. Risk, you could lose everything. Reward, everything's safe. Only way you're getting to that is through a key, through your password. Just be smart with it. Save it. You be smart, you save it, you're good. Wallets can be apps, hardware devices, or even paper backups. And then 8 is still evolving. Crypto is not finished. It is evolving. It is like us. It is growing. It is adapting. Crypto is not done. It's still early. It's like the internet. The dollar has been here since 1776, 300 years. The pound has been here since 1,000 years now, 500 years. When was England? It's been here since the medieval age or something. You got shekels and you got rupees. These are old currencies. They're basically done. There's nothing really to do with them. The only thing that changes is their value from time to time, and that's just value in comparison with the value of other dollars and other rupees, etc., etc. Crypto is not done. It's still evolving. There's still many uses. We're still figuring out its uses. There's still uses being found. I mean, there's so much. It's so volatile. It's not just one thing. It's multiple things, and there's multiple different things. There's just too much. It's like multiple different paintings that are still being painted. Crypto is an art gallery, and in that art gallery is different cryptocurrencies, which are paintings, and those paintings, for the most part, are not done, they're not finished, they have not been colored, they've only been outlined. This is the future being made, it's being sculpted. It's not done. No, it's not done. There's still more. There's always a future. It could succeed, it could fail. There's innovation, and there's hope in it. And there are many new projects and technologies that are constantly emerging to enhance and improve and augment it, etc., etc. It's not just money. It's essentially, it's rebuilding financial systems. It's the future. It's rebuilding ownership and even parts of the internet in a decentralized way, because not all cryptos are used as money. I mean, you can invest in probably every crypto, I'm pretty sure. You can put money in every crypto, but not every crypto is used that. Some crypto are going to be used to reform the banking system. Some cryptos are going to be used to run perhaps codes for systems or gaming, etc., to create platforms. Websites like Chrome might in the future, or probably will, run on them. Stuff like I believe like different browsers already run on them. So anyways, that's my crypto for dummies. I should put that as the title. I should put that as the title. Crypto for dummies. This is essentially, I believe this is the best I can explain it personally, because as I said, I'm not knowledgeable, I'm not a financial advisor. This is my first video, this is my first time getting to it. Tried my best, I did my best to explain crypto in the way I think would help people understand the most. I think you would understand it best in the way, not best, but to give you a general understanding. I think I did a decent job, but that'll be up to you to decide. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this information was helpful for you. Remember, you can only trust yourself. You can only trust yourself. And, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the information was useful. It's whatever you do with it. Thank you for watching.